Okay, for people that say that supports in League of Legends are not overpowered, in my opinion, they are. Like, I actually have better win rate playing Alistar top than I do have Tryndamere top, even though I am X Diamond 5 Tryndamere. So, look, rank 1, support main. Rank 2, support main. Rank 3, mid. Well, he doesn't play. Does he play support? One game on Soraka. Well, he is a. Let's see. Well, he's mid main, right? He's mid main. Let's see. Rank 4, support main. So 3 out of 4 are supports. Let's see this guy. Mid lane slash support. 11% support. Let's see. How many of his games are actually on a support? Well, what's his win rate on support? It's the Karma 67. She's kind of support. Seraphine is support. Yana, no. Jana. Let's see. Well, I'm actually surprised to see that he doesn't have a lot of games on. Does he play Karma? No, Karma support. Okay, so that's support. So 3 out of 5 are supports. Let's see, is this guy support as well? No, this guy's middle. No, this guy's for sure mid laner. This guy, yeah. Let's say DC main. Middle. That's jungle. I'm surprised not to see jungle. Very, very surprised. Because normally, like in top 5, normally there is like at least 2 junglers. At least. That means that they nerfed jungle really well. But you see how many mid laners, right? And how many top laners do you see? I mean, there are no top laners almost at all. Well, let's try to find. So there are no top laners in top 5. That's not a top laner, right? That was mid laner, I think, right? Well, 50-50. Nah, that's not top laner, dude. Look at his champions. That's definitely mid. That's definitely mid. Yeah, that's a mid laner. And he's rank 6. Okay, so far 0 top laners. This guy's mid laner for sure. Because I played on Russian server with this guy on the same team. Can you imagine Russian server has so few players? I was I was playing with rank 1 challenger in the same team. That's an ADC. Oh, one top laner. Okay, so we have one top laner so far. And one jungler. So out of entire 10 people, there is one jungler and one top laner. The rest are mid lane support. Mid lane and support, right? Not a lot of IDCs as well. So the entire top 10 people is made up of support and mid laners, right? Yeah, mid lane and support, the most dominant, and one ADC as well, right? So it's 10% ADC, 10% jungle, 10% top lane, and the rest are mid lane and support, right? I think it's dominated by mid lane, right? So let's look. That's a support, that's mid. So let's count how many mid. That's a mid laner, right? That's one. I think that's a mid laner as well. That's no, it's not mid laner. Yeah, that's two. I think the rest of them are mid laners, right? That's three. Well, this is no, that's a mid laner. That's three. That's four. This is five, I think, right? No, that's ADC. So far we have 40%. That's four. That's the jungle. Yeah. So if we were to break down top 10, it will be. So we have top, we have jungle, we have mid, we have ADC, we have support. Some of those, right? So there are four mid laners, right? One ADC, one jungle, and three supports, right? And all three supports are in top five. Yeah, so if you say what's the most busted role, I think it's the mid lane. Well, let's look at top 20, right? Let's look at top 20. Let me just move this in here. Okay, so what is this guy? That's a mid laner. I'm pretty sure mid lane is the most busted role because people are now playing Tryndamere mid lane and they're saying, oh my god, this is so much better. So we're looking at Sawyer, so that's 12. That's jungle. That's 2. So that's guy number 13. Let's look at this guy. Oh, that's a top laner. That's really cool. So number 14, let's look at 14. So he's Kayle main, right? Well, where do you play Kayle? So that's mid lane, right? That's top lane, top lane, top lane. It's mid lane, top lane. Here he's support, mid lane, mid lane, mid lane. Yeah, this guy's a mid laner for sure. Yeah, he prefers mid lane. So that's 6. Okay, let's go to 15th. Because think about what are the top two players in the world, like the best of all time. Faker and Dopa, both of them play mid lane. Let's support again. T. Let's support again. So this is 16th, right? Now we're in 17th. Support again. We are on 17th. That's a mid laner. That's another mid laner. That's a jungler. Yeah, like I expected, mid lane is the most busted role. So when you think about distribution, so this divided by 20, right? Like this, like this, like this, like this, right? Yeah, so 40% is mid, right? The worst is ADC. Like, yeah, I suspected that as well. ADC in season 11 is very bad, like exceptionally bad. I would go as far as to say that you should play Bruiser bot lane or like a mid laner bot lane because ADCs are just way too bad right now. The problem is everybody one shots them and items are too expensive. Now, when items are completed, they are ridiculously overpowered. Like Kraken Slayer and Lord Dominic's is exceptionally overpowered items. Like they are just way too broken. The problem with them is building path is very bad, right? They are ridiculously expensive, and there are no power spikes during the building path, right? And they don't solve the problem of Z pressing R and you're dying, right? So ADC is effectively like unless your support is good, you're pretty much done, right? You have no control over the game as ADC. I think mid lane is the best control of the game right now is mid laner because you can waste jungler's time if he tries to gank you and he doesn't do that successfully. And if you destroy your mid lane, if you're just outplay and destroy your mid lane, you have control over dragon and bot lane. You can just go and farm bot lane and dragon, and that just wins the game. That by itself it just wins the game. Why top lane is so bad is because you have no impact on the game whatsoever. Yeah, you can go like 5-0, but if your opponent has full control of the map, it doesn't matter. And split pushing in this game is no longer a tactic, right? Because I mean, I tested it multiple times, and people who do it, like I don't know, TF Blade in North America and Fogged, they run into exactly the same problems that I have. Yes, you can take the inhibitors, right? When you split push, this is the bottleneck, right? This is the bottleneck. You take the top, and well, let's look at the Summoner's Rift map, right? Here is the bottleneck, right? I'll show you the actual bottleneck. No, it's been blocked by my ad blocker. Is there any way I can expand it somehow now? Okay, so when you play as Tryndamere, right, you go 5-0 in your lane, here's what happens. Here's what happens, right? You can always take this inhibitor. That's not a problem, right? That's like literally happens probably 80% of my games, right? I can always take this inhibitor, right? Then what happens is normally I'd say maybe 60% of my games I can take this inhibitor as well. The problem is split pushing champions like Tryndamere are so useless in team fights. You usually lose objectives, right? And Tryndamere is the type of champion that cannot carry. Like people say, oh, you can carry. Yeah, against noobs you can, yeah, but against people who pick like top lane Sion or now or what else? Garen they pick top lane. Camille, right? These champions are so much more effective in team fights, right? They have peak potential. So one of your teammates will be always feeding because that's just the nature of the game, right? One of your teammates will consistently be getting caught, right? And you, even though you are like 3,000 and 3,500 gold ahead, you cannot go into the team fight and kill two people for free. You just cannot do it. In this game right now, there are too many slows, exhausts, uh, kind of like stuns, knockups. So what happens is one of your teammates dies, they go take the Baron, you take this inhibitor, but they take the Baron, and that's it. And past that point, there is no way for you to destroy these structures here to win the game. Because what happens is when you take this inhibitor, they typically take dragons, right? Okay, in the beginning, right? In the beginning, you might control the dragons, right? You might, but over time, what happens is they will start controlling objectives, and they usually end up taking the Baron, right? And trading inhibitors and turrets for Dragon and Baron is very bad. Like back in the days when I was Diamond, you could trade 2 turrets for 1 dragon, and it will be worth for you because Dragon was just 1,000 team gold, and that's it, right? If you take down 2 turrets, minus the gold that they lose as a result of losing the waves, it balances out, right? But right now, because you have Dragon Soul, you have to take the objectives. You just have to do it, right? Also, back then, Baron was just giving you the buff for kind of like it was AD plus AP, a little bit of health regen buff, but right now you have empowered minions, and what happens is once they take Baron, they will just power through your infrastructure very, very quickly. And because they have superior team fighting, right, and they have Baron, you just cannot stop this. You just cannot take these inhibitors because what they do is they clear the waves, they stall, these inhibitors respond, and when that happens, you have to win a team fight to win the game. And because you're Tryndamere and you have no objectives, um, you just cannot win the team fight. And if the game stalls for 40 minutes, like then they take Elder Dragon and they just win the game. Like even you see, like the problem with Tryndamere, even if you do take Elder Dragon yourself, Tryndamere is such a useless champion in team fights. He doesn't do anything, right? He just doesn't do anything. Like with Tryndamere, unless you are stomping hardcore and you win the game pre 30 minutes, there's no way to actually win the game past that point, right? And I see like Fogged, I see those like Rangers X, they have exactly the same problems. Because the games that they do win, I look at the team compositions and I say, dude, I can win against them as well. Because they have stuff like TF Twisted Fate in team composition, like Nami. Top lane, it could be some kind of Riven, like Riven, like, I mean, it's not difficult to beat Riven. But I mean, when they have, like, let's say, top lane Gragas, right? Their jungle could be something like Echo, for example, right? Mundo is another one. Or Warwick, right? Warwick is pretty busted as well. Well, Warwick is not busted in Hilo, but I mean, who else? Well, Mundo is quite okay. Or Olaf, right? So they have top lane Gragas, Olaf jungle, right? Mid lane something like Victor, busted as hell. Victor with phase rush, right? Right. Victor with phase rush, like you can't do anything against, like with Tryndamere against them, right? And bot lane they can have something like Alistair with Kai'Sa, right? Against this setup, if you're Tryndamere, dude, just dodge the game. Like you're just not gonna win, right? It's just that there's no way you can win this because you are so useless as a champion. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of stopped playing 5-on-5 is because if you're playing, you should probably play support. Like I play Alistair top. Like believe it or not, I tested. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get an account, right, unranked, and I'm gonna play and see if I have better win rate playing Alistair top versus me playing unranked as Tryndamere. And I, believe it or not, have a better win rate on Alistair. Actually, it's one of my accounts. Let me see. Let me find it. I think it's actually one of those accounts, right? Maybe it's this one. Yeah, you see, 60% win rate and 0 win rate on Tryndamere. like five wins. I mean, I even played Singed. I didn't even know how to play Singed. All I did was just throw people around, and it was enough to win the game because crowd control and team fighting wins games, right? Because if you look at my main, Fruit Love, you'll see that I have very shitty win rate with Tryndamere, like 58 over 40 games. 25 games is Alistar. Well, but I think I was trolling as Alistar those games. I think I went like, I don't know, jungle or something, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying, if you were to start playing League of Legends, and if you want to go, what is the best role? Mid lane is the best role, most impactful. All right, take care.